Hey everybody, good morning. Hope you guys are doing good this morning, and thanks for tuning in the channel. Much appreciated. And hey, we're getting super close, man. We're almost getting up to 20,000 subscribers here on the channel, which I can't believe, man. That's just incredible that it's growing this fast. So thank you very much if you subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't subscribed and you like the videos, please hit that subscribe button, man. It'd be much appreciated. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can always unsubscribe at any time. But hey, before we get started here on today's modification, just wanted to remind everybody, last night Johnny did our weekly Fish the Moment live podcast. Every Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, Johnny and I do a podcast live on different subjects. And if you guys want to check out those podcasts in their entirety or see a daily clip of them, you can go to the new Fish the Moment live YouTube channel. Not the regular Fish the Moment where we do the longer videos, but the new Fish the Moment live, and check that out, and please subscribe too if you hadn't had a chance. Okay, let's get into this Magdraft modification deal. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of history about the Magdraft and swim baits. Magdraft's been around for quite a while now, probably 8 or 9 years. I've had a chance to fish it all over the country, and I've had a chance to learn about how the fish bite this thing or don't bite it and different situations it works in. And it's really, you know, the 6-inch Magdraft has gained fame basically by Chris Zaldane, one of the Megabass pro staffers. Chris has had a lot of success on this bait on the Elite Series. If you guys have seen some of the Elite Series shows, you can see him, you know, doing really well on this bait at times. And he uses the 6-inch and the 8 inches a lot. They make 3 different sizes. They make the 6-inch, the 8-inch, and all the way up to this big 10-inch model here, which is the one Oliver Knight throws a lot for giants. This thing is a huge chunk of plastic. And the modifications I'm showing you will work on all 3 sizes. But first of all, before we get into this modification, I want to sort of go over the whole big Swimbait philosophy just a little bit. We'll do more videos on it later, but this lure category is unique. And the reason I'm giving you these modifications today is going to help you hook more fish that bite the bait and get the fish to actually hit it, because big swim baits like the Magdraft are notorious for attracting quality fish to follow the thing but not bite it. They just track behind it and look at it and swim off. And a lot of the times the ones that bite it, since you've only got one small hook in there, they'll bite the tail, they'll bite the head, you know, they come up and knock it with their mouth shut and they don't get the bait, they don't get the hook in there. Because on the Megabass Magdraft, what you have is you've got a little slit right here and a magnet. The hook goes in the slit like this. The magnet, you know, keeps the hook flush to the belly, and all you've got is these 2 hooks on the bottom to hook the fish. So you can see how much plastic you have across there for the fish to hit and not get a hook. So I'm going to show you how you can fix that. First of all, I've rigged this up a little bit before because it takes so long, but here's the basic setup I've got. Notice the hook hanger here. You've got one swivel attached to a split ring here, attached to the hook hanger. What I've done here is I've added another split ring, and I've added another swivel and a split ring at the end. So here's the way it looks as far as the deal that I've got set up there. Just another swivel here. And I put this on before. I'm not going to do it on video because it takes forever. If you guys have ever tried to put a split ring on a swivel, you'll find out how hard it is, because that swivel will turn when you're trying to put that split ring on there, and it takes a lot of time. So I've already pre-rigged this. But what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to do a hook upgrade. You know, that's the main upgrade right there. Here's the stock hook that comes on the Magdraft, and this is the one Chris Zaldane uses. He told me that he uses the stock hook and he has a lot of success, but I found I upgrade one size to this Gamakatsu G Finesse on there. So we're going to put that on. So it's important when you put the new swivel on there that you go to a small swivel, because you want to have less hardware visible at all times. So you can actually go to the smallest swivel that you could, the smallest swivel that you can possibly find. So I'm putting this G Finesse on there like that. So I've got, you can see how much more distance I have down from the stock one here. I've got probably another 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to do on this is I'm going to come through the bottom of the bait like that. And you want to make sure that you come through where you got, you know, everything's fairly level and tight, and get the bait where it lays level. So what this does compared to the other one, and this doesn't seem like a big deal, but it is, notice how much farther that back hook sets down there now that you got in there. Let me see if I can get this angle here, show you guys a little bit. So when these fish are hitting it, I've got another at least 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch back behind there for what they get it from the short side, a little bit bigger hook. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is I take a small, this is a number 6 Gamakatsu G Finesse treble with just one O-ring on it. I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna put it on the hook hanger on the front here. So what this is going to do is it doesn't really, I mean, you may not think it's going to do much, but what it's going to do is if that fish, oh, okay, I'm going to get this thing on here. This is going to take a little bit longer. Hold on 1 second. Okay, back. I had to take some time to put this split ring on, because sometimes these split rings are super hard to get on this bait a lot of times, because on the hook, the eye tie here is pretty thick, so it takes a while to get that on. But what I've done is I've attached my O-ring to the eye of the bait like this, and I'm putting this back in here like this. And what this does, this isn't much, but it gives me something. A lot of times these bass will hit the head of this swim bait here. They don't hit the tail. A lot of times they'll try to kill the head. And even though that I don't have much hook right here, you don't want a big hook, because you don't want it to really take away from the side to side movement of the head that the Magdraft has. This little number 6 hook doesn't take up much, and if they hit that head, a lot of times they'll get that right there that I found it. So here's the difference in the two, the way I've got it set up. Like that. You can see the back hook of the Modification, it goes down almost an inch further. I've got the hook on the head to get those fish that hit the head. Okay, now the final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the look of it a little bit to actually get those fish maybe to commit to it. And what I do in this particular thing is I take the eyes off. See, that they've got pretty nice eyes on them. They're really on. But the problem on the Magdraft is if you throw it for a long time, these eyes will come off, you know, because, and they do on any swim bait because they're just stuck on plastic. So I'll remove the eyes like that. And then I'm taking my trusty red fingernail polish and I'm putting red eyes on them, which I always like to do. I'm a big fan of red eyes on baits. I've got to get a new bottle here. My applicator is getting a little gnarly. Put like that. Got some red eyes. And then the next thing I do is, and this is really important, I want to paint some gills on the bait. And the paint will hold up pretty good on the soft plastic. Sometimes you might have to apply it, you know, after using it for a couple hours, but it's not a real big deal. But what I feel is on this Magdraft, these red gills and the red eyes, it gives the bass some type of a focal point a little bit on the bait to hit. So I've got it like that. And I'm a big believer on putting red gills on about everything. In a tournament situation, guys, I'll put red gills with fingernail polish on my jerk baits, on my crank baits, and everything. So anyway, here's the two differences. Here's the before. This is the stock Megabass coming out of the package, and here's my modification of the two. Held up side by side. You can sort of see the difference there. Them down a little bit more. But what this is going to do, like I said, there's a couple different things. It's set this hook farther back in here, so it's going to get those shorter striking fish. You know, I've got the little hook on the head that's going to get those ones, you know, with a small hook if it hits the head, and I've got the red on there as a strike attractor. And what happens is when these fish hit this bait, you know, this hook will pull out of the back like that pretty easy. so you don't have a problem. Sometimes I'll take and I'll smash one of the barbs down on the part that I put back in the side there. But anyway, that's the 2 modifications. You know, the Magdraft right out of the package is going to catch them, don't get me wrong. But the thing about that is if the fish are eating the bait, which a lot of times they don't eat a swim bait, they're curious about it, they're trying to kill it, they're trying to attack it, they don't really want to eat it and get it down in their mouth a lot of ways. If they're eating it good, you can throw it like that. But if they're not eating it, if they're swiping at it, following it, give this a try. Just try this modification. And it'll also work on the bigger swim baits, you know, the bigger Megabass Magdraft and that type of stuff. Once in a while, I forgot one little thing I'll do sometimes. Sometimes I'll take the side of the Magdraft and I'll cut some slits in it like this with my scissors. And what this does a lot of times is by cutting the slits like that in there, it makes the bait just a little bit more pliable. And when the fish bite this thing, they don't have as big of like just solid chunk of plastic right there. So that's something you might want to try to do too on it that works a little bit too. So anyway, that's today's tip. Megabass Magdraft 6-inch swim bait. It's a really good bait in the pre-spawn. As soon as the water temperature when you're fishing around the country starts to reach like that 55-degree range, that's when you catch the biggest bass of the year on the Magdraft. And if you've watched Zaldane on the Elite Series a lot of times, he's had a lot of success on the Magdraft in the pre-spawn and in the early post-spawn. So time for this thing is going to be working, is coming up right around the corner. So give it a try these modifications, and I think it'll get a few more bites for you, and it'll definitely allow you to hook more fish that do bite the thing. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I much appreciate it. See y'all later.